Hey, welcome back to my channel. Something I haven't done in, well, apparently 4 years is an introducing video. So I thought for a change, well, I say a change, maybe restart something. I figured, as well as my reviews of Star Trek, which I shall be starting soon, I thought it might be quite fun for me to do introducing books again. In particular, the books that I'm obviously working on, because we all want to sell books, we all want to make money. So I'm going to introduce our most recent book, which came out only last month, and that is Blue Blood by Chris Thomas. Chris Thomas, the author, he's an Australian chap, and as with a lot of Lethbridge-Stewart books, we made contact via the lovely intranet. And he originally wrote a short story for me a little while ago, a couple of years possibly, I forget now, which was Vampires of the Night, which eventually was originally a freebie, and eventually became part of, I believe, Havoc Files 3 Special Edition. It might be 2. I think it was 3. Anyway, when he wrote that story, he had at the end there was a sort of an epilogue scene set in the present of Lethbridge-Stewart, which in that case would have been 1971. I think that's right. Basically setting up for a sequel, which is something that authors always do. We always want to set up a sequel. We always want more work. We always want to tell more stories, and I think we've all been guilty of it from time to time, and I need to stop swiveling in this chair. Unfortunately, it's not locked, so I have to sort that out. Anyway, yeah, so sidestep. He set up a sequel for himself, which, understandable, because as I say, all authors do that, and God knows I've been guilty of that on more than one occasion. But as an editor, knowing what he's doing and understanding what he's doing, I did say to him, like, look, let's take that away, because I get what you're doing, but let's keep this story contained. There's enough in the story itself that it suggests we could follow it up one day, maybe. So when it came to planning the very last year of Lethbridge-Stewart novels, which is this year now, Chris's story was one that was in the back of my head, and I approached him and asked him, you interested in doing a novel for the very last series? Yes, of course, he's interested. And then I asked him, well, in the conversation, it obviously came up that maybe now it's time for you to do the story that you wanted to do already. So that is what he did. I seem to recall during the plotting of it, he had possibly already had a secret base where all the nefarious stuff is taking place. So I suggested it would be quite a nice little link if we basically set it in Maiden's Point, which is the location, the secret naval base, of the Curse of Fenric, 1989 Doctor Who story, which is about vampires from the future called Hemivores. Now, obviously, we couldn't use all this stuff without permission, which we could have sought, obviously, like we have with many, many things in the past. But I thought, let's make it more of a subtle link by placing part of this secret naval base in Maiden's Point, only we'll rename it Maiden's Port, because obviously that story is set in the 1940s, this is in the 1970s, things change, names change, and indeed in Curse of Fenric, it's already been established that Maiden's Point was once called Maiden's Base, so it followed. And it's a nice link for fans, And I'm not giving a plot detail away because I made sure it was on the cover, because, if we're going to do this, you might as well, do it properly, like. So that's what we did, and I've got a feeling that might be backwards. Hopefully not. Anyway, so that's what we did. He agreed. We worked it in. What is an interesting point, which I don't think I told Chris, and I certainly haven't mentioned in any press release thus far, Maiden's Port, which in my head was always the updated name of Maiden's Point, featured in a Doctor Who novel I wrote way back in 1996, which I did submit to the BBC. Didn't get approved, sadly, but that's how it works in these worlds. Which took place in Maiden's Port, and Seventh Doctor Ace, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so it's nice to finally get that into the Doctor Who canon. Anyway, so this book, which I'm introducing, it's obviously it's got vampires in it, sort of. It is a sequel to Vampires of the Night, so kind of suggests that maybe it's vampires in it. It's essentially all about the follow-up to what happened as a result of that story in the 40s, which, for those who've not read that story, it is contained in the end of this book, right by Vampires of the Night. It is contained in the end of the book, so you could always read that first if you want to. However, as with any book, it is written in such a way that you don't need to read the short story to understand what's going on, because it would be very annoying for a reader if they had to pick up something else that they didn't really want to pick up just for a short story. And besides which, I think I'm very much of the opinion, when it comes to any type of film, any kind of book that's part of a series, I think each book, each series, each whatever, each story should stand on its own right. There should be enough in it for every new reader to come in, read it and go, I get it, without having to get the other stuff. However, not to give it all away, so there's enough that you think, you know what, I might go back and check that out, which, we're all for that, right? Because we all want to sell, and we all want to learn more, in terms of reading, at least. I don't know if we want to learn more, but we certainly want to explore the world we love the more and more. I think that's just something that we all like to do. But yes, so it's all a bit of a mystery, as these things often are. The Brigadier and co are called into a mystery when there's lots of people going missing and lots of very strange bodies turn up. Rumours of experiments happening, and they soon discover very clearly that there's a link to Anne's father, Professor Travers, from the 40s. And naturally, the Fifth are brought in to investigate, and things get quite serious and quite gory. I mean, it's called Blue Blood, so clearly it gets quite gory in places. What else can I say about it without giving plots away? Some wonderful characters in it, including Gary Merrin, this chap here, very 70s, with his curly hair, bushy beard, and all in denim, because 70s, and they like the denim in the 70s. It's pretty much a highlight for our Samson wear. Reasons will become obvious when you read the book. Our usual gang are there, obviously. Poor Bill Bishop, he gets put through the ringer again, which does seem to be the ongoing thing for him, bless him. Authors do seem to want to make him suffer, which, fair enough, good drama. What else could I say about this book? It's a jolly good read, if you like that kind of thing, which I think you will. But again, even if you haven't read any of these books yet, and you just want to buy it because you know Chris, or you're curious about the book in itself, then you can read it without having read any of the other books. But there is obviously going to be stuff in this that will, guaranteed, make you want to read more of the Lethbridge-Stewart novels, because that's just how you make, not money, that's how you get into a universe of books. Anyway, so introducing Blue Blood by Chris Thomas. Recommended this month. Read it. And hopefully next month you can get the next one. And we all live happily ever after. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.